Hej och välkomna till Atlas Copco Tools vlogg om Industri 4.0. I denna vlogg så diskuterar vi det här stora blurriga ämnet och ger våra perspektiv och insikter på hur man kan realisera en smart fabrik. Ordet Industri 4.0 kommer ju från den fjärde industriella revolutionen som vi befinner oss i just nu. Och i Sverige så finns det stora industrier som pågår en transformation. Och där är bland annat fordonsindustrin i framkant. Därför har jag med mig Business Line Manager Fritz med mig idag som är försäljningschef för kundsegmentet i just bilindustrin. Norman, thanks for joining us today. Maybe you can tell us a bit about yourself and what you and your team do.
Me and my team are working towards the automotive industry in the Nordics, and that means, of course, we focus on the three big customers in Sweden, like Scania, Volvo Group and Volvo Cars. But we are also working, of course, for their tier ones, which are supplying them. I have a sales and a project organization, and we, together with our customers, we try really to make the smart connected factory of the future happen.
Cool, thanks for sharing. So Industry 4.0 is quite a buzzword right now. Maybe you can tell us a bit more about it and what it actually means.
You are actually right, asking the right person for this. As you might know, I'm a German, and this phrase Industry 4.0 was founded by the Germans already in 2011, and it was the name for a project in the German headquarter for the high-tech industry. So what it actually means is that the cyber and the physical systems getting merged. So the virtual and the real world into the production are getting combined in the future. And the big enabler for doing this is the digitalization, which enables us to connect equipment, machines, humans and accessories into one integrated system. And nowadays we of course have the computing power to have an integrated analysis of all the big data, to use this big data and the analytics to optimize the value chains.
So how would you say that Industry 4.0 looks like for your customer center? What is the current maturity level and how does that compare to other industries?
I would say that the automotive industry is definitely the front runner in the transformation to Industry 4.0. They are right now there to scale it up. The basis is in place. There is a lot of IT infrastructure to capture the data. A lot of equipment is already connected. Now with the transformation to electrical vehicles and also with autonomous driving, there will be a lot of investments in new lines. So where this new approach is actually realized from the very beginning. So it's actually happening right now. So Industry 4.0 at a motor vehicle industry. Comparing this with other industries is very difficult because this topic has such a high pace that it's very difficult to see where an industry stands if you are not connected to them very closely. So I cannot give you an insight there.
So if you were someone in an organization getting started with exploring Industry 4.0, what would you recommend him or her doing?
Going from a traditional production to Industry 4.0 production is a major change. There will be a lot of departments involved which need to have a full alignment on the future. There's traditional target settings which have to be changed to new target settings. So prepare yourself for intense discussions and fights in meeting rooms. What you actually need to overcome this is a common vision. So you have to sit together with all the involved departments to develop a common vision and a common target to just make this alignment in the future happen. What you need to make the first steps is a basis. So you need a very good IT infrastructure into your plant, and you also need a policy that everything gets connected in the future. Don't make any compromises on this end. To be very concrete and give you an example for the assembly area, if we speak about tools for assembly, then you have to insist that all of these tools are electric tools, which can report data to an upper system. So you actually can analyze the data and getting full process control into your production.
We at Atlas Copco have identified a couple of main challenges that our customers usually have to tackle, and these include product mix, system complexity, and human factors. How would you say that these challenges look like in your customer segment?
In the automotive industry, these challenges are definitely reality. All my key customers have a lot of products, much more products than some years ago, and a lot of different variants. At the same time, these products become much more complex. And all of these different products with the different variants have to be produced on a similar amount of production lines. So the production becomes much more complex. So we have the humans which have to make this production with the human interaction with the production line, and we really have to help the humans to produce all these variants in a controlled way, and also to guide them. And Industry 4.0 is the perfect approach to make this process control and operator guidance in this complex world happen.
So what do you see as the biggest internal challenges and obstacles for your customers to solve in order to realize Industry 4.0? And do you have any tips or your own insights of how to overcome these?
Going from a traditional production to Industry 4.0 production is a fundamental change in the way how we produce things. To make this change, there will be a lot of different functions and departments be involved. All these functions and departments have traditional target settings. And to bring them together and synchronize the new reality, you need to formulate a common vision and a common goal towards everybody can adjust itself. And you need to make compromises. If I can give you an example, there will be significant investments to be done. So you need also to convince purchasing to do this, to have the gains in the production later on. This cannot be solved by just throwing this topic on the shop floor. So you cannot just say as a manager, we go now Industry 4.0, throw this on the shop floor and wait to make it happen. This is a topic for the top management. So it has to be driven by top management to get this change done.
Valid point. So thanks for sharing your expertise, Norman. But before we end this session, I just have one last question for you. And if you could pick one emoji to describe Industry 4.0, which one would you pick?
That's a good question. I would pick the screaming emoji, and then you can choose on your own if this means fear or pure excitement for you.
I hear you. Well, again, thank you for joining us, and all the best of luck to you and your team during 2021. Och för er som har tittat så kan ni skriva in i formuläret nedan om ni har några frågor, alternativt prenumerera på vårt nyhetsbrev där vi delar mer insikter kring detta ämne. Ha det så bra, så hörs vi!